Now I'm ready to start tying on to the front apron bar. I've got it sitting here in my little flip trap. This is another one of these handy little gizmos that Shaft is so good at designing. I have pulled the front apron bar up so that it goes up and over. Otherwise, when I start winding it, nothing will happen, and I won't be able to get a good shed. I'm starting at one end, and I am doing the surgeon's knot where I go around twice. I'll do it over here on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just put half the threads on coming up on one side and the other half coming up on another. And then I secure it. This yarn, unlike the yarn that I used for my runner, is a really stretchy yarn because it's animal fibers, and that is going to make it all the more imperative to not stretch the bejeebers out of this yarn, but to make sure that the tension is even so that I get a good shed. And I'm just going to work my way across, doing these little surgeon's knots, tying onto the front apron bar. And at that point, when I'm done with that, I will be able to double check that the tension is even and weave a header. From my perspective, if you are interested in getting into weaving, but you're worried about the expense and, do you want to spend all that money and then find out you're not that into it? A rigid heddle loom is absolutely positively the way to go. You can get set up with a 25-inch loom like this and multiple reeds and the trap and even the stand for, let's say, $500 as opposed to, and I might be undercutting this by a little bit. I can never remember the prices, the retail prices of things. But let's say $500, whereas a floor loom or even a table loom could cost twice that much, and then you absolutely have to have a warping board. If you're going to use boat shuttles with bobbins, you have to have a bobbin winder. There's just a whole bunch of extra equipment that you need for any floor loom, and you have to have it from the beginning, whereas on a rigid heddle loom, you can get those things if you want, but you don't have to have them because it's so easy to direct warp a rigid heddle loom. And the flip loom actually comes with 2 stick shuttles, and stick shuttles are much less expensive. They are also, to my mind, perfect for big fat hand-spun yarns. I don't have any sitting in reaching distance at the moment, but you'll see when I show you what it looks like to weave that they're very simple to use. And like I said, they're in a lot of ways preferable when you're using big hand-spun yarns, because on a bobbin, I wouldn't be able to fit very much. And so I would constantly be changing bobbins, and that means ends to secure and things like that. So I would much rather, when I'm using my hand-spun especially, waste as little yarn as possible with a stick shuttle. Because I can go for a lot longer before I need to replenish it. So I am almost done attaching the yarn to my front apron bar, the warp yarn. And wow, I had kind of forgotten how delicious this yarn was. Weirdly, as a weaver, you often don't get that many chances to actually touch the yarn because you're working with a shuttle when you start weaving. So it's the warping process where you really get to touch the yarn. And I'm falling in love with this fiber and this yarn and these colors all over again, which is a lovely feeling. So almost done. I just have 2-3 more groups to do, and then I will be able to fine-tune the tension and weave my header. So stay tuned for the next video and you'll see more.